Welcome back to Beautiful Wreckage. We're your favorite chaotic couple. I'm Justin.
And I'm Rachel.
And today we're talking about how I always get the weather right.
No, that's not what we're talking about.
I never get the weather right?
Today we're talking about who said I was the problem.
Well, just now, because I didn't even get it right.
We're talking today about quirks that people have and laughing about them.
No, I'm just saying. I didn't get it right.
No, you didn't get it right. All right, so you started talking about the weather. So what about it, Justin?
Well, we're going to talk about how I am always right about the weather when I walk outside. When I walk outside, whatever the weather is at that moment, that's what the weather was when I woke up.
Okay, but what do we usually talk about before you go outside, Justin?
What's the weather today?
And who usually informs you of this?
You, obviously.
And do you ever listen?
Yeah. After I come back inside.
Okay, so that's one of the quirks that you have.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, would you like a better explanation?
I mean, yeah, give me a better explanation.
Well, you see, the problem is you usually like to tell me what the weather is.
Okay.
After I've walked back in the house.
Is that actually true?
No, but it's what I'm going with. That's the thing. That's the difference.
No, but let me ask you a question. Do I usually put clothes out for you to wear that fit with the weather I say?
That's a possibility.
Do you ever wear the clothes that I set out for you?
That is not what happens. I said possibility, and not what happens.
Okay, so let's just go ahead and start.
Okay, then let's start.
If any of you guys have seen our TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and some on YouTube, you've seen some of the quirks that I have.
Yeah.
It's kind of everywhere.
Mm-hmm. If they saw the TikTok the other day, they realized that our sign right here was not, level, and they realized that I was OCD, so I spent like 10 minutes trying to fix it, and it still wasn't going to fix.
And one thing that you and I have learned to do, especially the past
really
year.
Messing with me with this rug right now. That's what's really messing with me.
you have moved it from it being.
I don't care. You keep stepping on it, you're putting wrinkles in it, and so it's messing with me. I just talked about this.
But anyway, we really worked really hard, actually, I think, to laugh at our quirks, because some quirks you can't change.
Yeah, you can't change it.
All right, so Justin, what are quirks?
You can change the rug, though. You messing with me, bro.
Can you give me some of the quirks that you have that aren't seen on our TikTok videos?
Well, that's definitely going to be seen just now. I can't help it.
So what is this? What would you call this quirk that you have? You are...
fashionably late. I don't know. Very meticulous.
Or
I can't stop touching it now, Rachel.
Or what? What do you? You talk about it all the time. You are
OCD.
Okay, so but when it comes to that, you are very particular about the way things appear.
Yeah, you can say that.
Okay, do we laugh at you about it?
Yeah, everyone does. Yeah, apparently. I didn't know I was being laughed at. I thought I was being laughed with. Yeah.
Should we tell them this, guys?
Yeah, I guess it's not a secret anymore.
All right, so what's another thing that you do?
I don't know what.
What about when you cook?
Yeah. I clean down like every surface, and then I put out plastic wrap on the surface that I'm going to use.
Okay, so that's preparing to cook. I'm talking about when you're actually cooking.
Oh, what do? Oh, I cook by smell.
He doesn't cook by taste.
Yeah.
It drives me crazy.
Yeah.
And then he won't eat things because he's put too much garlic in it, or it doesn't have enough salt, and he won't go back and fix it.
No, why? It's perfect. It's perfect the way it smells.
It's just, he doesn't want to eat it now.
No.
Okay, so
at that moment.
Today we're talking about owning our own quirks.
Yeah.
And laughing about our flaws.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think we do a lot of laughing.
You're irritating me with this rug right now. You gotta kick it.
I can't.
Your feet. So I'm just watching it.
Okay, but the truth about it is, even though we laugh at our quirks, not everyone is able to laugh at their own quirks.
Yeah.
Or at their partner's quirks.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about Relatable relationship quirks.
Oh, and before we move on, I have to say to the listeners who can't see us on YouTube right now, we have a rug that is sitting in front of our setup, and Rachel cannot feel her feet, so she keeps moving her feet, which is bunching up the rug in front of her. Not in front of me, in front of her. And so that is really bothering me. So I keep getting
see the problem, guys.
So I keep getting up and fixing the rug. But go ahead.
Okay, so we're going to talk about relationship quirks.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, we have quirks in our relationship.
Yes.
We each have individual quirks.
Yes, we do.
But we also have relationship quirks that other people don't understand.
Yeah, we can finish each other's sentences, but we also talk at the same time, which most people will sit there and they'll be like, I don't understand. I can't handle it. I can't handle you guys talking at the same time. And they'll be like, we're saying the same sentence at the same time, but they'll be like, there's too much going on.
We also will have different conversations with each other at the same time.
And we hearing each other speak at the same time and understanding that we're both having different conversations.
We also, we have a tendency to use humor when I wasn't going to say that.
Dark humor.
When other people would not.
Yeah.
Like, when it comes to my F&D, we definitely use humor for it because what's the other option for me? Sitting and crying about it. Well, I've done that before and I don't want to live like that. So we now use humor instead, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Wow. Bam. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, versus squirt, squirt. You know what I mean? People are hearing sound effects on probably. They're probably like, what's going on? Yeah, because there's a squirt bottle right behind me right now. And people can't see it. But yeah, we use that to help get her out of the seizures sometimes. So, yeah.
All right, well, let's just talk about some common relationship quirks first. So, you tell me if any of these are some that one of us does, or if we know someone who does it, or if that's just weird and you would never, you couldn't see someone doing it, okay?
Fathom it.
Okay, the blanket burrito, the art of sleep wrapping.
You wrap yourself up in a blanket because it gets cold in our room.
It's so cold.
Yeah, because I have fibromyalgia.
Oh God, this is awful.
What is this? I'm gonna count them right now. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's one in the corner. 5, 6,
7.
So yeah, it's about 7 fans in our room.
And we just took 2 out.
We took 2 out so we could have them in the
living room.
So
yeah.
In the living room. Yeah. So yeah, I sleep with all those fans in our room, and it's not like our room isn't cold. Yeah, we have the air conditioning on.
Well, no, we don't have the air conditioning on right now because it's winter.
But yeah, we have the air conditioning on.
I swear that there's a breeze coming in the window at all times.
Yeah.
And so when the fans are on, guess what? It is not just a fan, but I'm having ice cold air from outside. Feels like it's going straight into my soul.
And it has nothing to do with like the actual what do I want to say? The
insulation?
Insulation of the window or
or
anything. It's just the way we're built.
Yeah.
You're from like Illinois.
I am. Yeah, and so cold doesn't bother me. Like I go outside in the snow with just a light jacket because it doesn't feel cold. I'm used to Chicago weather, which is a lot of wind.
Yeah, and I don't this isn't technically a quirk, but I have fibromyalgia right now and it's flaring up.
Oh, you're flaring bad.
Yeah, bad.
So yes, yeah. I do. I blanket burrito. You have bought me extra blankets. You have bought me.
Yeah, every time
I have a shark snuggie.
So this isn't a quirk, and so I'll just go ahead and say this. Every time, so Rachel has ailments, and a lot has happened to her. But every time Rachel goes into the hospital, I buy her a new blanket so that she can have it.
Not just when I go into the hospital. Yes, with that, but anytime that we go somewhere, also. Yeah. Like when we went to basic train, when you graduated from basic training, you bought me a blanket.
Anytime,
when we drove to Florida, when we drove to Georgia, you bought me a new blanket.
Anywhere we go that is not our comfort of our home,
you get me a new blanket.
A blanket because I want her to feel a warm embrace.
All right,
so that's what I get you.
So let's go to the next one: the Phantom Dishwash Loader.
Yeah.
Do you understand that?
Nope.
Okay, so let's talk about that really quick. So, despite living together, we have our own system of loading the dishwasher.
Yeah. I load it by
shape, size, and color.
Shape, size, and color. Like it has its OCD to the max.
Okay,
all the forks have to be facing the same
real quick. All right.
Have to be a distance apart.
Anyone who is in the kitchen more or is in the kitchen and has to fix it because the way he sets it up, while it looks pretty,
yeah, it's amazing.
It does the water is not going to hit every bowl correctly. The water is not going to hit.
I'd say it does.
No, because I have to go back and redo it.
So when it comes out, it has washed everything correctly.
Because you don't start the dishwasher.
Washes everything correctly.
So, like I said, the phantom dishwash loader.
Yeah.
Because it has to get fixed so it actually washes. Okay, so that's a quirk, right?
Yeah, no, that's not a quirk.
Right. Yes, it is. The Netflix episode Cheater.
Yeah, what? Listen.
So, are there any people in a relationship out there who their significant other, partner, friend, roommate will be watching a show with them, and then all of a sudden they go to watch it together, and it's three shows next, through the next one.
Let's not be modest. We're on to the next show because the show we were watching has finished.
Binge watch until it's done. It doesn't matter if I'm asleep, if I'm in the shower, on the toilet, helping the kids. It's not a couldn't hang. It's I have other responsibilities.
Yes, you do.
And he watches all of the episodes.
Family is your responsibility, and the family is my responsibility.
And watching the Netflix is his responsibility.
Sleep is not written into a responsibility.
Okay, so let's do another one here. So we have the leftovers archaeologist. Mm-hmm. Never throw out the leftovers, creating time capsules in the fridge.
Yeah.
Who does that?
You.
No, I don't.
No, I will. No. So here's the thing. No. This is a conversation. This is a serious conversation that needs to be held in the Supreme Court. Seriously, in the Supreme Court.
The Supreme Court of relationships.
Supreme Court, no, just the Supreme Court. Period. Of anywhere.
I want to hear it.
Yeah. Listen, I will cook amazing meals. Like we joke about me cooking by smells, but I'm like by smelling it. No, I don't play with people. You know, everyone wants to always come here and eat because of my what did I make? I made lobster
fettuccine last night. Lobster Alfredo fettuccine.
Alfredo fettuccine last night, and everyone killed it. I ate a little bit, and I was just like, yeah, I'm kind of over it right now because I make it.
You ate a full plate. Don't make it sound like you didn't eat.
I don't want to eat it like.
No, he will not eat a leftover. He will not eat leftovers,
and everyone knows that. Everyone who knows me knows that.
Hold on. He will not eat a single leftover.
Not at all.
Unless it's Papa John's pizza.
Or fried chicken.
I was going to say chicken wings.
Chicken wings in general. Yeah, chicken wings in general. If it's Papa John's pizza or chicken wings in general, I will eat the leftovers. But anything opposite that, it's not happening.
And so who in our relationship is the leftover archaeologist?
You.
No.
It's you.
I eat leftovers.
Yeah, it's you.
You will put it in the refrigerator.
No, I put it in a time capsule for you to eat. It's you. You're an archaeologist. You find it, you eat it. Because you don't want it to go to waste.
My dad taught me so well that if there is food that is cooked, it needs to be eaten.
Shout out to Jeremy.
Oh man! I mean, not just Jeremy. You gotta shout out my dad too.
Your dad too.
Because look, he'll come in the house and he will be like, "No, we don't need to go out. We don't need to buy groceries. There's stuff in the fridge."
He was like, "Oh, this is good. I made that 2 days ago. No, it's good. It's good right now."
No, the worst is when he came to visit and he got something out that was in the back of the refrigerator.
Yeah.
And we were like, "Dad, I can't remember when we cooked that."
I don't remember when I made that. He was like,
"No, it's still good. It's still good."
I said I don't remember when I made that.
This is not from the freezer. This is from the refrigerator.
I'm pretty sure I made it earlier that week.
I try and make sure I get rid of things.
I don't eat leftovers.
Well, I try and make sure I get rid of things with at the 2 week mark. If it's been in the refrigerator for 2 weeks, then we're not going to eat it most likely.
Not at all. But
I'm talking about me and the kids, not you.
Not me. Period. If I make it in the morning, I better eat it by that evening if I'm going to eat it leftover.
No, you will. I will say, if you make something in the evening, and it's something that you really enjoy,
I'll eat it.
You might eat it the next day, like the next morning.
Before noon.
Yeah.
If it's not before noon.
And I realize that there is one leftover you'll bring home and eat.
What?
And that's fajitas.
Yeah, I won't eat fajita. But you see, that's somebody else made the fajitas out.
Yeah.
Me.
Well, no, even if you do it. If you make it, because we don't do like chicken fajitas usually. Usually it's going to be the steak fajitas.
Steak and shrimp.
And so you'll use the steak, the vegetables, and mix it with your eggs.
Yeah.
So,
but it has to be within a certain time frame because
the very next morning.
If it's not within 12 hours,
it's gone. It's for us.
12 hours and 1 second. It's done. you'd be like, Justin, I got a question. 1 second. No, too late. Somebody want this?
All right, so let's keep going because we could talk about each of these for a very long time, as you can see.
Woo-woo.
So the next one is the cryptic grocery shopper.
Yeah.
Which, in my opinion, we had this when we first got together.
When we first got together. And
but now that we've been together for as long as we have,
And I'll tell you the system in a minute.
So a cryptic grocery shopper is when you send someone to the store with a specific list.
Yeah.
And they come home with their own interpretation of the list.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Have you ever done that?
A couple of times in the very beginning of the relationship, yeah.
What happened when you did that?
Yeah, you were like, Justin, you would send me with a specific list under a certain amount.
I would, yes.
And I would show up with a specific list of the high-end version of whatever you told me to get. Because I was like, I'm not eating this. I no longer live in this, what is this? What is this?
Okay, so again, let's shout out to my dad.
I'm not eating government cheese right now.
Okay, look, I didn't do government cheese. Hold on, that's not fair.
Yeah.
But shout out to my dad because my dad did teach me that you always buy the cheapest version of the food.
Yeah, and I was lactose intolerant. And so I'm not eating that. I grew up on that. I'm not eating it because I learned then I was lactose intolerant.
Okay, so let's talk about it though. So how did we circumvent this from happening? Do you remember what?
Cheese.
No, do you remember what I did initially to make it to where it was more understood?
No, I don't remember.
Do you remember how I would take pictures of stuff?
Oh, yeah.
And be like, if you don't come home with this, you're going to have to go back and get it?
Yeah, and I would normally go back and get it because that's how stubborn I was. I was like, nah, I don't care. I would come back with what I said I was going to come back with, and then you'd be like, Justin, that's not what I asked for. It doesn't go with the recipe I asked for. I'd be like, I don't care. And you'd be like, Justin, go back and get it. And I'd be like,
I would be making some kind of Italian pasta, and I would ask for mozzarella.
Yeah.
And what would you come home with?
I don't remember.
Parmesan.
Yeah. I'd be like, it's the same thing.
It's not the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same
Parmesan
thing.
does not melt like mozzarella.
And that's when I learned that Parmesan does not melt like mozzarella. It would bubble up versus melting. It was nasty, bro. It was so nasty. And I was like, in my defense, once more, I am lactose intolerant. So I didn't understand the nuances between and I didn't
All right, well, let's do a different one then. What about the difference between lettuce and spinach?
First of all, in my defense, I said I was lactose. No, I'm joking.
Nothing to do with it. All right, let's keep moving. All right. So, like you were talking about when we first came on this episode.
Yeah.
The morning weather announcer.
Yeah.
Okay. So, does anyone have a significant other, spouse, partner, friend, roommate, anyone who will give you the exact weather forecast? Justin, is there anyone in our relationship who does that almost every single day?
Yeah, me. I'd be like, oh, the sun's out. It's warm outside. It's warm outside, bro.
It is 23 degrees.
It is 23 degrees.
So why are you putting on a pair of shorts?
Because it's warm outside. The sun's out. Sun's out, guns out. And then I learned that when I walk outside, just because the sun's out doesn't mean there's not ice on the ground.
Where were you last week?
Where was I? I don't remember where.
In the hospital with pneumonia.
Oh, yeah. I was in the hospital with pneumonia. I learned that real quick. I had never had pneumonia a day in my life.
What happened with our son last week?
That boy was out. I just got out the hospital with pneumonia. This man walking down the street with no jacket.
He was in a t-shirt.
He was in a t-shirt walking the dog. Don't act all happy to see me. Hey, Dad, get in the house.
Where does he get it from?
Me, bro.
I needed that
defense,
recorded for posterity.
In my defense, I'm lactose intolerant.
Okay, so let's go on to the next one here. The secret snack hoarder.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyone who keeps snacks near their bed.
Yeah, you. No, you're not going to play this game right now. There is literally cookies under your side of the bed right now that I bought you. Listen, that has nothing to do. You asked the question, so I'm answering it.
All right, and what about
yes, I ate most of them, but still, that's not the question. The question was, is there anyone? We're going to be specific because I'm OCD. You said specifically, is there anyone that keeps saying, I don't care if I need to take a breath right now. That's your side of the bed. Just say it, bro. There's not playing with snacks on my side of the bed.
Who hoards the snacks?
You! They're on your side of the bed.
They are on my side of the bed. I do not hoard them.
Yeah, we're hoarding them on your side of the bed to keep me from eating them. Therefore, they're on your side of the bed. Why are we having this discussion on...
Who eats the snacks that are purchased?
The children. Do you really think I'm going to snitch on myself right now? Absolutely not. I learned a long time ago.
You literally just snitched on yourself.
I circumvented the snitch. I didn't
Okay. All right, how about this? Who last night ate the Lucky Charms while in the bed?
Okay, so what had happened was there was a person in the bed that ate the Lucky Charms within the bed. And I seen them do it.
You seen them do it?
I seen them do it. But I'm not sure at this exact moment who that person was.
So it was not you?
I did not say that. We have cameras.
All right, let's keep moving. Because we could go on and on about the snacking in this house.
Yeah. I plead the fifth.
Okay, so the background noise creator. The silent avoider. Cannot function in complete silence. Always in need of some form of background noise, whether it's a TV show that they've seen 1,000 times, music, nature sounds, or their own voice.
Bro, you can't pull that card, bro. Everybody who has, most people who have been in the military or live near a military base need some kind of white noise.
I'm not going to agree with you on that because while I was not in the military, I have lived near the military base for over half my life.
Rachel, you need white noise.
I do not need white noise.
So when you go to sleep, when you turn the TV off, when you're sleeping peacefully, do you not have me in your ear going, ah? That's white noise.
That's not what I want.
It's dark noise.
That's not what I want, though. You don't understand. My idea of like peace is no talking, no music, sitting, reading a book. Do I get that?
Do you get peace?
Do I get what I asked for right there?
Absolutely. Not, but still. You didn't sign up for that. You know what you signed up for.
I did not sign up for that either.
Oh, you knew what you signed up for.
Okay, so, how about the laundry procrastinator? Wash and dry the clothes promptly, but
will not fold it. Absolutely not. I was always taught that
to wash and dry your clothes.
Folds itself as long as you wash it and dry it. If you wash it and dry it.
Who taught you that?
The wash gnomes. What do you think? What do you think was gonna happen? You was gonna say something like that? Wash those. They come in the middle of the night. They fold your stuff. It ends up in your drawers. I seen it.
You seen it?
I seen it happen in my dreams. I'm gonna write a book about it.
Oh man!
Don't nobody steal that idea. I'm actually gonna write a book about it now.
Oh gosh! All right, so now we're gonna do one quirk that is not listed, but I think would be a really good addition.
Yeah.
The bathroom invaders.
The bathroom. There's no such thing as the bathroom invaders, Rachel. That is a myth.
So, are there any other mothers
really?
who are listening currently?
There's no such thing.
Who attempt to use the restroom in peace?
There's no such thing.
And have miniature invaders and just descend upon their privacy. And by miniature invaders, I'm talking about 6'5" men who have to be in the vicinity of where you are.
I was told you couldn't hear me unless I was watching you use the bathroom. That was what I was told.
But we weren't talking.
Silence is deafening.
Well, in addition to the 6'5", I also have miniature 6'5" men who also descend upon in my time of privacy. Would you admit that that's a quirk that comes somewhat from your family?
You mean all the 6'5" men in my family come and watch you use the bathroom?
No, watch me. I'm talking about have in the past that is their quirk that they do to either significant others or mothers.
Yeah, you know what? I can say that no female in my family lineage
expects to have privacy.
Expects to have privacy in the bathroom. Like I don't, to my knowledge, I don't know. Like I don't think that's a thing. Like you could ask my mom. I don't think that's a thing though.
I have locked doors.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
It does not go over well.
Yeah, because they know where I didn't even know where the key was until
the key gets brought. It opened the door, and then animals get shoved into the room. For me,
yeah, that's
believing that I have a moment of that is a quirk, Justin.
That's not a quirk. It's a practice. That's not a quirk. It's a fire drill.
Okay, so
in case of emergency, shove
the dog and children. Justin.
Yeah.
The kids were not home.
Yeah.
You walked into the bathroom.
Yeah.
While I was sitting on the toilet. Mm-hmm. Closed the door.
That happened.
And turned the light off.
I was lonely. We could do this all day. I don't care.
All right. Well.
And what else did I do?
Nice little...
Lean my head on the wall. I don't care. I am not ashamed. I don't care.
Going on from this, talking about the quirks is kind of fun. So let's keep going a little bit, but let's ask a question. I'm going to give you a scenario, and you need to tell me, do you think it is a red flag or a quirk?
What?
I'm going to give you a scenario.
Okay.
And you're going to tell me, is it a red flag or is it a quirk?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. All right, so we have the friend filterer. All right? Mm-hmm. Been dating for 6 months. Initially, they showed interest in getting to know your friends. However, they began categorizing your friendships into approved and concerning. They create elaborate reasons why you can't attend gatherings with certain friends, often citing their negative energy or bad influence. When you do see these friends, they send frequent check-in texts and later question you about every conversation. They claim this behavior is from being hurt in past relationships and wanting to protect what they have with you.
I don't have a comment on that. I don't really know. Depends on where you are in your life at that point in time. I really don't have a comment on that one. I can't tell you if that's a red flag or not. You said a red flag, right?
Red flag or quirk, yeah.
A quirk? I guess it's a quirk more so, because you don't know if this person has a history. The person that is finding new friends or going through new friends has a history of picking the wrong type of energy in their life. Or if they are moving on from their past friendships. So I can't comment on that. I don't know.
Okay.
Because they could be outgrowing the past that they were in. So that's kind of a blanket statement. So I don't know.
It is. All right. So what about the plant parent?
Yep.
Together for 6 months. Your partner maintains a detailed family tree for their 47 houseplants, complete with a birth certificate and adoption date.
We're back on these plants again?
We sure are.
Okay.
They've installed security cameras to monitor the plants while at work and have a strict visitor policy requiring everyone to introduce themselves to each plant upon entering.
All right, now we're going too far.
During the recent weekend getaway, they spent 2 hours each evening on FaceTime singing lullabies to their green children. Mm-hmm. They started referring to you as the plant's other parent and suggesting you contribute to their college funds.
So, wait, you had me until the end. I was good until the end. College ones, where the plans going? You had me all the way up until I was like, okay, I can see because and we're gonna get real for a minute. Some individuals can't have children, so
or don't want children,
and don't want animals.
Or don't want children.
I
mean, it's a valid thing, right?
It's a valid thing to want to.
You can still nurture.
Life.
You can still nurture. Yeah.
Raise life, but not want something like an animal or a child, or in that particularly in that order.
I mean, I can say my best friend has an entire plant wall.
Yeah.
And when she comes home, she makes sure that she waters them and that that they have the correct water.
Like I said, you had me until
the college fund.
So I don't know. I was good.
Is that verging towards the red flag?
It was all Quirks until red flag. College fun. Hold up. Wait.
All right. So how about privacy pruner? Mm-hmm. Together for 7 months. Okay. They've gradually started requesting access to all of your personal accounts for emergency purposes. What started with shared Netflix has expanded to email and banking passwords. They casually browse through your phone while you're sleeping, explaining it as normal couple behavior. When you express discomfort, they question why you need privacy if you have nothing to hide. They say their ex cheated, so it helps them feel secure. Now, these are just opinions. That's not.
So, if I may, your insecurities are your insecurities, and you shouldn't put your insecurities on someone else.
Okay.
I have insecurities. You have insecurities. If you want to go through my phone, fine, go through my phone. But once your insecurities start to, once I tell you, I feel insecure. I'm not insecure. I feel bothered by if I voluntarily give you all my information already, and so you are able to browse through it whenever you want to. But now I'm sleeping, and you're doing it, and I'm like, but why when I'm asleep? You can do it when I'm awake as well. Yeah. And now it becomes but why though? Because what if I start to feel insecure?
Can I ask a question? If it's a conversation had, would it be a quirk?
Yeah, if it's a conversation, it's always a quirk. Yeah.
Now, if it's done without the conversation, without communication, malicious. That would be a red flag.
Yeah, it's malicious at that point. Because it's like, hey, you're actually vulnerable. You're being vulnerable by telling the individual, I feel I'm a little bit upset about you going through my phone while I'm asleep. Now I'm not going to talk past this. If you don't make it a big thing, I'm not going to talk past it. But I would ask for at least to be awake. If you say it like that, it all depends on how you all both approach the situation. Because there are some people that'll be like, oh well, you shouldn't have anything to hide. I get that. I never said anything against it. If you don't have anything to hide, you don't have anything to hide. Our communication is so open that you always have my phone.
I think it's absolutely hilarious because, well, even on TikTok, there have been plenty of females who have hit you up.
Here we go. Yeah, go for it.
But you show me.
No, yeah.
It's
you
not.
Literally see my phone. I'll go, hey, Rachel.
Should I not have said that?
No. Go ahead. It's literally, hey, here, Rachel.
This is what just happened.
This is what just happened. And there is literally a code on my phone, but you have my code. And not only you have my code, which is, it was funny because this was brought up about the TikTok. You have my code. Mm-hmm. Your best friend has my code.
Yeah.
And y'all have been best friends before you met me.
Yeah.
And y'all both have my code. Y'all both work in tangent and have conversations about me, my phone, and all that stuff.
And about the females.
In a group text, and other females, in a group text with me where I just sit there. And I barely...
I mean, you don't... that made it sound bad.
If it sounds bad, that means that there's someone that's hearing it wrong. But it's like, I'll sit there and I'll be like, if I have my 2 cents that I want to add to it, I'll add to it. But we've all been so close for so long.
I mean, we're family.
It's family. So it's like, if you actually have an issue with someone going through your phone, say something.
Well, if you have an issue with someone going through your phone, then you need to keep boundaries set.
Yeah. And if that individual...
If you allow boundaries to get crossed that you're not comfortable with, that's something that you need to work on personally, in my opinion.
It's all about you as a person. If you don't see at least a yellow flag, you know what I mean? You can go into a relationship with caution. You don't have to go into it all green flags. You can go into it with caution.
Especially if you go into it looking to grow yourself and to help the person, well, not to help, but to be with the person as they grow.
Yeah, if this person has red flags, but you can say, okay, well, I'm going to it with caution, so they can see that it's I'm a healthy person, and I'm willing to be patient with that individual, because I needed patience when you got in a relationship with me.
I mean, I think we both needed patience. Well, I mean, we could go ahead and talk real quick about the fact that I still say I'm sorry every time I have an episode, whether it be a seizure episode, a drop episode, or just...
And a lot of individuals think it's because of me. And I'm like, I can see why you would think it's because of me.
I mean, I can understand it. But I think that that's one thing that I've come with trauma.
Yeah.
I came into the relationship with trauma.
Yeah, so
I've had trauma during our relationship.
Yeah, and
not necessarily from you.
The interesting thing is, I still find it very interesting that there are very few, but there are some individuals that have gone through life with little to no trauma in their life. And they're very few.
How sweet!
No, I'm not going to play with it.
That is sweet.
That is amazing. And so, knowing this, I'm like, well, that is amazing. It doesn't mean that you won't see trauma in your life, but there are people that have gone through life without any kind of trauma.
I mean, I wish I could have given that life to our kids.
Yeah.
I do. I wish that my ailments, my illness, my diagnoses would not be something that is traumatic to our family. But unfortunately, it is.
But I will say this. Having said that, if you go into a relationship and circling back to the phone situation, and you go, okay, well, I'm going to go through this person's phone because I was cheated on. I was cheated on very young, my first relationship. Mm-hmm. And so that skewed the way I thought about all individuals after that.
Right.
You know what I mean? All individuals after that I dated. And so people would look at me and be like, well, he was a terrible person. I never really told a lot of people I was cheated on in my first relationship. You know what I mean? But why? I wasn't even in town. I had never even been intimate with anybody before then. I was just new to all of this.
Well, I don't know that it was necessarily just the cheating aspect that skewed you. It was the trauma that was attached to it.
Yeah, and so
I don't think that's
because I did as a male. I was just like I wasn't really ready to be like intimate at that point. I was just like, oh wow, maybe somebody could talk me through it. There was nobody there to talk me through it. It's kind of like just, you know what, suck it up, you guy. There's plenty of fish out there to see.
Yeah, which is why we met on the app we did.
yeah. But I was just like, and that's because you know how you freeze and it's what is it? Fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. I literally froze mentally because I was just like, whoa, what am I supposed to do with that information? Like, and so I was like, cool, all right, well, if one person is like that, and that's my first relationship, kill or be killed. Oh, no, that's the wrong information. Hurt someone before they can hurt you is how my mindset got warped in that moment versus nurtured. And so I was just like, wow. And it wasn't until I received the counseling that I needed to start understanding where it all began, what happened, what I needed to hear. And I was just like, okay, I can fix this. So, having said that, these individuals that go through each other's phones and they know that there is a point where you can stop this. You have to make a decision on, is it worth the relationship that I'm in? Is it truly worth the relationship that I'm in? Because this person could have, this could be that one individual that went through life with little to no trauma. And they could be healthy for me. Are they healthy for me in this moment or later on in my life? You know,
that's a really good statement because honestly, neither one of us were healthy for for each other when we first got together.
Not at all.
We had to grow individually before we were able to become healthy enough to be in a non-toxic relationship, in my opinion, which is one reason why I think that
I look at this slide.
We are truly a beautiful wreckage because, I mean, we both came from trauma and then we got together and there was trauma and then we tried to work through it and there was trauma.
See what you said.
Look, trauma. And so we had to learn that we had to be individually happy and individually grow so that we could grow together and so that we could be there for each other when we needed our partner.
But it took me a while to voice that to you. The whole I need to be individually happy right now in order to but it took me because at first I wasn't speaking.
Well, I think a lot of it for you ended up being because of what happened to me that you revolved, is she okay? Yeah, and so everything was revolved around me for a while to where you've put yourself so far on the back burner that you stopped looking for your happiness.
Yeah. or looking for it in
or looking for it in the wrong areas.
The wrong areas of my life, you know.
And so I think that was one quirk that you had to work through to make it into a positive thing.
Or let's say one red flag I had to work through in order to make it into a positive thing for our relationship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
All right. So we're sitting here talking about, our quirks in our relationships. So what are things that, I'm not going to say we're experts, but what are things that experts have said about relationship quirks? So Dr. John Gottman, he's a relationship researcher and founder of the Gottman Institute. And he said that about 69% of relationship conflicts are perpetual problems that will never be solved.
Oh, yeah.
The difference between happy and unhappy couples is not that the happy couple has fewer of these perpetual problems. They've just found a way to deal with them with humor and affection.
Yep.
Learning to love your partner's quirks rather than to change them is often the key to a lasting lasting relationship satisfaction.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
I mean, that's what we talk about all the time.
What do we do to get through our stuff?
We laugh through our pain. Yeah, but let's be completely honest. I stopped trying to change you into something you weren't, and realized that I had to meet you where you are now. You know what I mean? Because everything's going to continue to evolve as we get older. You were never going to be the person that I met. And once again, I sit here, and my chair just so happens to sit across from the Christmas present that I was given this year of my grandfather and my grandmother when they were at, I guess that was their prom picture.
Are you sure it wasn't their wedding?
I believe that was their prom picture. Okay. I'm dead serious.
Oh, I believe you. They didn't tell me when. Yeah.
So I sit here across from that, and I'm like, okay, cool. It very well could be the wedding. No, I believe that's the prom picture. They know for a fact as they evolved through their relationship, they just got they were still at heart the same individuals, but their personalities sort of kind of changed as they got older, but they still loved each other the same way they loved each other the first time. You know what I mean? And so you got to know if you're going to be in a long-term relationship, which is serious. If you're going to be in a long-term relationship, you got to know that person is going to change throughout their relationship, and you have to understand if you evolve yourself, and if you know you're going to evolve throughout your relationship personally, you gotta, and you want them to love you still, but you gotta love them as they evolve as well, and you gotta work with them.
You literally were just saying this, but Dr. Bryn Brown, she's their research professor and relationship author. What makes connections possible is the courage to be vulnerable, to be seen for who we are, quirks, imperfections, and all. When we try to present a perfect quirk-free version of ourselves, we actually prevent the deep connection we're seeking. And it's in the acceptance of our whole self, including our partner's unique peculiarities, where true intimacy grows.
Yeah.
That's literally what you were just saying. Okay, so Dr. Sue Johnson says, Dr. Sue Johnson is the creator of emotionally focused therapy. And Dr. Sue Johnson says the strongest bonds are built not on perfect compatibility, but on the ability to remain emotionally responsive to each other despite our differences. When we accept our partner's quirks, we're really saying, I see you, I understand you, you matter to me exactly as you are.
I love your imperfections.
This kind of acceptance creates a secure attachment that can weather any storm.
I love you're perfect because you're imperfect. Is what I always say.
Dr. Gary Chapman, wow, cannot speak today. Dr. Gary Chapman, author of The 5 Love Languages. Every quirk is an opportunity for love. When we choose to embrace our partner's peculiarities rather than criticize them, we're speaking a powerful love language of acceptance. These small moments of choosing love over correction build what I call the emotional bank account of the relationship. The more deposits we make through acceptance, the richer our relationship gets. What do you think? Yeah. Agree, disagree?
Yeah, but it doesn't hurt to have money too. You can't just always be emotionally rich, financially broke. Gotta love me, Rachel.
Quirks and all.
Quirks and all.
Okay, so we already did the red flags in your opinion. So let's talk about healthy quirks versus deal breakers now.
Okay, deal breakers.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So healthy quirks. Self-controlled chaos.
You said self-controlled chaos?
So where you contain it yourself, where you have chaos, but it's managed. No, this is a healthy. It's considered a healthy quirk. I mean, if you stop and think about self-contained chaos is not being neat at my desk, but I still know where everything is. That's not a deal breaker.
Self-controlled chaos.
Self-controlled, self-contained. They're both.
Okay.
So these are going to be things that only affect the single person. Yeah. It doesn't demand that you are joined in my weird place. Okay.
Well, these are quirks, not.
That's what a self-controlled or self-contained chaos is. It's something. Okay. Harmless shenanigans. Do you know anyone who does that?
Never.
Does anyone believe him?
Yes.
You maybe. And also discussion-friendly fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Deal breakers. Being controlling.
Yeah.
Anything that is harmful to yourself or others.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
That's a warning label.
That's a warning label. All right. So, let's see. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit slow right now. Can quirks become deal breakers?
The self-controlled chaos one.
In general, can quirks become deal breakers?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Because what you may have thought you could have accepted as a quirk before, as you evolve through life, maybe and mature individually, maybe that quirk could start to rub you the wrong way. Or
it could be when you were younger, it's something you can deal with. Whereas when you're older, it's like, this is not something I want to continue to deal with.
They didn't grow out of this right now. It's because you didn't accept that person for all the complete individual they were when you first met them. It was still Romeo and Juliet, like we talked about in the first, or Jack and Rose. Look, and now you want to kick him off the door.
The door is not big enough, guys.
Now the door is not big enough. Because the quirk has gotten on your nerves.
Okay, so what are things that we can ask ourselves if we're going into a relationship or if you're in a relationship about a quirk becoming a deal breaker? Do you have any questions? Any things that you could ask?
Is it something that can last the test of time? Is it something I can see myself?
Can I live with this behavior long term?
Long term,
right?
Yes. Like, is it something I can live with throughout the century? Like,
what about, does this make me laugh or does this make me cry?
Does this make me ick? Like, it's just a small ick, but they're so attractive. I think I can get past it. If it's a small ick, and if you're not a Love Island fan, if it's a small ick, and yes, you heard me right. I watch every
quirk
season of every country of Love Island. So I'll go ahead and say it. So if it's an ick at all, it's just a small one, and you notice it in the very beginning, don't think that you can change that ick in your mind. It's already there. It's too late.
So how about this? Am I telling this story to my friends for fun or to therapists for help?
If you're telling the story, it's a therapy session. It's a therapy session.
But hold on, because I talked to my best friend about some things with you, but not as therapy, but because she and I laugh at these things.
Yeah, y'all laugh at it, and then y'all call me and tell me about it, and it's about me. And I'm like, that's funny. And y'all laugh at me. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
All right, so does this just affect them, or is it taking over my life?
Well,
is that a good question to ask?
Is this going to consume me, is what you should ask yourself.
So how about this one? Would this make a funny story? Or would it be a crime documentary?
Yeah, but as in, I might hurt their feelings if I have to keep hearing about this.
All right, so how about what are warning signs? Do you know what warning signs are? Like
red flags.
What is a warning sign for the red flags? Is what I'm trying to say. So like isolation tactics disguised as, but I just want quality time with you.
No. Back that up. a warning signs like isolation tactics, isolation from your friends, as
From
just you
anyone, just you and the person.
or are they isolating themselves from
No,
you?
no. Isolating you from. So that'd be a warning sign, right? If they're, but I just want quality time.
Depends on
I just
how
want
often.
quality time. But we need more quality time.
You know, it depends on how often. And it also depends on jobs.
But is that a warning sign? Can that be a warning sign?
Like I said, it depends. Because you got to remember, for most people, it could be a warning sign. But then again, what's your career? Because if it's like, oh, well, my career is, I'm in the military or I'm government official and I'll be gone like 3 months out of the year or 6 months out of the year up at Capitol Hill, whatever that it costs.
And you want quality time before?
Quality time with the family, quality time with me, or I'll be gone a year.
Well, I think that's definitely different than an isolation tactic that's being decorated as.
Yeah, as quality time. Yeah. So, like I said, these are so broad.
They are broad.
Yeah.
They're 100% broad, but it's things that really can't happen.
Yeah, they do happen, yeah.
And so, I mean...
So if I was thinking just as a regular, and I'll say, it's wild to say this right now, if I was thinking just as a regular civilian, hey, I need quality time, some individuals don't want a ton of quality time. They need their space. Okay,
so how would you feel if one of our daughters were to say, Dad, I know we had plans, but this is the third time that my boyfriend says that he wants to spend quality time with me instead of us going to spend time with you guys.
All right, cool. But here's the difference between me and someone else. I say to them, all right, so ask yourself this. How many times has your boyfriend said to you, when I said I wanted to spend time with you, or when your friends said they wanted to spend time with you, they said, I want quality time. And then when you're available, they say, oh, I'm busy. And that's how you know whether it's a isolation tactic.
But you would bring that up if it happened multiple times, wouldn't you?
You know this because I have done it.
He has done
That's the difference. Because I said to them, hey, you know if it's toxic. You don't need your friend or your companions or your counselors and your family to tell you if it's an isolation tactic or if it's toxic. You know in your heart if it's toxic. The problem is you don't want to
acknowledge
it out loud. Acknowledge it out loud.
All right. So what about financial control that is being masked as I'm just being responsible for you?
Yeah. Okay. Is your name on the deed? Is your name on the bank account? Is your name on the...
Yes, it is. Yes. And he will not handle the bills. Yeah. I have to.
I mean, but here's the difference between us and everyone else is I was going into the military. I said, hey, and we weren't even married. We were not engaged. We were nothing.
We were technically engaged.
We were not technically, we were technically engaged. But still,
I didn't have a ring. Yeah, he just told me he was marrying me.
I'm going to marry you when I get back. That's what I said to you. I didn't know how that was going to work out.
That was a great proposal, guys.
Yeah. But I was like, hey, would you like... But here's the funny thing. I was like, hey, would you like to be on my bank account? You had your own stuff.
No, it was more of, I don't know who else I could trust, but I trust you. So will you pay my bills? Will you pay my car note? Will you make sure this happens?
So I don't
because you knew you could trust me.
So and it wasn't. So I don't go into debt
because I'm going to a job.
Because I'm going to a job.
This is a career. Now let me ask you a question. Yeah. Have you at times felt like I was trying to control you?
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I would feel like it was at the detriment of my autonomy.
Okay.
And then I would think about it and I'd be like, you know what? I probably didn't need to buy that.
Have I ever stopped you from making purchases that weren't detrimental to you or the family?
No. You have conversated with me and said, hey, I don't think that that'd be a good idea. Now, what's interesting is if it wasn't for conversations that we have had, that me and your father have had, then I'd probably be in debt, like serious debt. I probably wouldn't have, bought my first home, sold it, and bought my second home.
Right.
These things. I wouldn't have had these adult.
You probably wouldn't have the truck paid off.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have the truck paid off, all this stuff.
Right.
Because I wouldn't have learned those lessons early on in my 20s. Because I didn't have someone teaching me those steps, So I had, thank God I had those individuals in my life. But like I tell people, You don't have to be the financial guru in your life because you want to be the one that's spending money. Like, hey, bro, I got to spend this money as soon as it hits my pocket. You just have to have people surrounding you that are like, hey, ask yourself this: in about 5 years, 10 years, do you want to be a leader in industry, or do you want to still be living paycheck to paycheck? Do you want to have your own business, or do you want to work for somebody? Mm-hmm. And that's it. Yeah.
All right. Well, so far we've talked about quirks that we've laughed about.
Yeah.
We've talked about quirks that make you feel ick.
Yeah.
And we've told you stories about our quirks.
Yeah.
So let's just, keep in our minds. If it makes you smile while you're shaking your head, it's a quirk.
And if it makes you frown?
If it makes you cry while shaking in fear, it's a deal breaker.
Deal breaker. Yeah, definitely.
If it's just something to tell us a funny story, it's a quirk.
Mm-hmm.
If you have to call the police and file a restraining order,
don't call me.
It's
don't
a deal
call me.
breaker.
Don't call me.
So, the question we have for you guys is, what is your quirk? Does your partner secretly or not so secretly hate it? Because I know that it annoys the crud out of me watching my husband walk outside in a t-shirt because it's sunny, knowing that he's going to walk right back in and say,
why didn't you tell me it was cold outside?
I did!
Yeah, why didn't you tell me it was cold? No, seriously, why didn't you tell me it was cold outside? It's cold outside right now.
Which is why I put your coat on the on the dog gate.
As a matter of fact, why didn't you tell me that you told me my coat was hanging up in the closet?
Yes.
And then it was hanging on the dog gate.
No. I told you the coat is hanging in the hall closet. And you went into the bedroom closet.
In the hall closet.
And because not at first you didn't.
Okay, first of all, I was already on my way into the bedroom closet because that's where I assumed my coat was. I heard what you said after I came out the closet.
And then I said I've got to get mine, and so your jacket's going to be sitting right here. Did you hear me say that?
Yeah, I heard you say right here in the hall closet. You know I don't look down.
All right. Beautiful people, relationships should feel like a hug.
Oh, this isn't a hug right now.
Like Robin Williams. Not a psychological thriller directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
This is definitely that right now.
Somebody help me out. Give me your quirks. Let me have something to enjoy reading about, because I'm not sure I can deal with his quirks all the time, guys.
24/7.
I hope that you guys enjoyed us talking about the quirks that we have and laughing about them with us.
Like this rug that you keep messing up, bro. Chill out, bro.
Until next time, I'm Rachel.
I'm Justin. This is our rug. This
is Beautiful Wreckage. Join us next time when we are going to be talking about being healthy-ish.
Yeah, right.
No, that's really what we're talking about.
Oh, no. We're not healthy-ish.
You are not healthy-ish. I am more healthy than anyone in this family.
What you talking about? I drink nothing but water.
With sugar.
And flavoring
added.